Good morning, afternoon, or evening class. This is Teaching Assistant Ant, Stacka Learning Series, first video. We did record this lecture before when Professor Nat was teaching about it, but I forgot to set up the audio correctly. So yeah, I'm re-recording this. So I'll keep it pretty brief, but for context, we want to win Battle Cup or just in general be better at 5-stack games. So each week we will tackle a different topic to see how we can improve. This one is drafting. I love the transitions. So why are we doing this? It's because we want to get a draft advantage by having the draft done before the draft even starts. And yeah, homage to our random last pick Witch Doctor. That was a blast 2 weeks ago, Battle Cup. Okay, so here are the basics of drafting. Your goal is to create a balanced draft. That means when you're drafting heroes, there are high priority things to draft for, like initiation, Roche, tower damage, lane shove. And because there are high priority things to draft for, that means there are also low priority things to draft for, like strong lanes and stuns. Now you may be asking, why would strong lanes be a lower priority? Well, just ask yourself, have you ever won a game where you lost all 3 lanes? The answer is probably yes. But have you ever won a game where you couldn't push any towers or shove out any creep waves? The answer is probably no. So when you're actually deciding which heroes to select, you want to have some overlap and some synergy between heroes. So no overlap between heroes means you have no synergy in your draft, and too much overlap between heroes could mean that you have gaps and weaknesses. For example, if all of your heroes have stuns and lock down enemy heroes, then it's unlikely that you'll have the damage to actually kill those heroes. That's the basic idea. So the YAPSOR method is a theory that breaks down a draft into World of Warcraft or MMO style classes. So the theory is that the ideal draft has 2 knights, 2 mages, and 1 rogue. Knights are those tanky frontliners that protect the backline, protect mages. Mages are spellcasters that support the team with buffs, debuffs, or they just do damage from the backline. And rogues are scaling heroes or backline killers. So it's meant to give you kind of foundation of how to quickly come up with a balanced draft. And the idea is that the ideal draft or balanced draft will play itself. So this is an example from a pro game, Aurora versus Team Spirit. I have 2 knights, 2 mages, and a rogue. So this was supposed to be an interactive portion during class, but because I messed up and now I'm doing this solo recording, it will not be as fun. So I'll just kind of outline. For the first draft, we have knight, knight, rogue, knight, knight. So it's an imbalanced draft. Second one, AA, mage, rogue, knight, rogue, rogue, also imbalanced. And the third one is mage, mage, knight, rogue, knight. So this one is a balanced one. And then we have mage, knight, rogue. So we have 2 imbalanced drafts and 2 balanced drafts according to our YAPSOR rogue, mage, knight theory. And it's kind of, we selected these drafts. These are drafts that our 5-stack actually played. And the funny coincidence is the 2 games that we had these imbalanced drafts, we lost. And the 2 games we had these balanced drafts, we won. So might be causation, might be correlation, but we feel that having a balanced draft will give us a better advantage in the game. So now to go to the actual technical part of the draft, the draft order. So obviously with first pick, you have the first overall pick of the draft. That means after these initial bans at the top, you get the first pick, like which broken hero of the patch you want. Second pick has the last overall pick. So they have the advantage where they can see 5 enemy heroes. They basically see the whole enemy lineup, and then they can pick the best hero for the game. Some other things to note is that first pick in phase 1 has 3 bans and 2 bans in phase 2, where second pick has 4 bans in phase 1, but only 1 in phase 2. Some more nuanced things to keep in mind are that for first pick, you have 18th pick. This is a strong pick because not only do you see 4 enemy heroes, but you can pick a hero, and then you immediately have 2 bans to kind of cover it. For second pick, you have a strong 16th pick. This is strong because it's a pivotal point in the draft where you see 3 enemy heroes. So you can get a great idea of at least one of the enemy lanes. And you can draft some heroes that make sure you don't lose that lane. And then combined with the last pick, it basically guarantees that 2 lanes can go even or win. So going in deeper for initial bans, what we kind of explained in class is that assuming we don't know the enemy players, which is likely the case in Battle Cup, then some things we can think to ban are strong meta heroes like AA, annoying supports like AA, or heroes that change the way that we like to play, like AA. So in conclusion, ban AA. But limited bans means we cannot ban everything. So the high priority is heroes that our stack has a bad history with. We should also try not to ban heroes that we play so that we can keep our options open later. Okay, cover bans. This is just a quick topic. Anytime you have a pick and then you can ban before the enemy gets a chance to pick, you can cover it. So let's take this 18th pick, for example. If we pick Ember on 18, we can ban 2 heroes that our Ember player hates laning against. For example, you can pick Ember and then ban Huskar and Monkey King. For 9th pick, you could first pick Bristle. And then let's say you have a specialist Bristle player. He says, okay, pick me Bristle and then just ban the Viper. So our Battle Cup strategy. Since we don't know our opponent's heroes, we have to draft based on our strengths. That means ban heroes that our comfort picks are weak against, rather than focusing too much on the meta. We want to have multiple drafts ready, and this is something Professor Nat added. Last but not least, give Ant a good hero on last pick. So then we just have hero pools. If you're playing in the stack, then we will modify these each week based on who's playing. We also came up with flex heroes. If you're unfamiliar with flex heroes, it's a way to get a draft advantage. You can pick a hero. So these are heroes that we flex between different roles. So for example, if we picked Dragon Knight, which is in one of our drafts, then either I can play it mid or Chalos can play it carry. And kind of gives the draft more flexibility. So Nat and I came up with these kind of drafts to follow. They are kind of flexible depending on what the enemy picks or bans. And there's kind of backup drafts as well. Pause if you want to see those, but that is the end of this week's lecture. Spoiler alert, we did not win the previous Battle Cup. We made it to the grand finals, and then we threw high ground. But it seems our draft problem has been fixed. So for the YouTube frogs, I apologize for this kind of boring talk at you video, but next week, hopefully I'll fix the audio, and then we'll actually get to upload the live classroom lecture. So yeah, stay tuned for next week. We will have another important topic to cover. Haven't decided yet, but stay tuned. Peace.